So we're getting in here. Doing a quick bounce back. Gosh, it's early. Yeah, it is. It's early. It's definitely feeling pretty good. So yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Um, Good, bright, early and morning. I've got my lights off, everybody. Sometimes I'm over here saying, what's the big rush? Okay, oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, I definitely need to keep that. 1 second. Let's move this up some. Yes, I had the last live, it was a long live, and we were in the Bhagavad Gita. So we read the entire chapter. That was a long chapter, but it was worth it. And I did receive a lot of manifestation from that, from reading the Bhagavad Gita. I did receive a lot of.
Nobody believed me at first, but now everybody wants a pair.
Well,
Nobody believed me
okay. At least the sound is amazing, to be honest. My microphone does a really great job. I already have that. I okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I need to do that one. All right. So there's a few things I more or less want to cover, I guess. There's a few things. So we'll be covering those. Um, as I kind of need to, I'm still getting signed in here. Maybe check on some things. Um, okay. I'm I'm still trying to get in here. Why is it? I don't know why it feels like it's I've been here. I've been away for a week. It's only been less than 24 hours. It feels weird to even skip a day now that um my channel, I'm at the place where my channel is doing what it's, what it's supposed to do. So kind of like I did make sure. Sometimes I feel like if you get too much rest, I feel like I actually have had too much rest. But it should be a good day though. Um, is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is kind of like my checkpoint day, so I'm okay with that. It's like a checkpoint. Lots of good things to undergo. So I really like looking at. I like both, but I need to keep motivated. For some reason, I feel like I always have like something else to learn. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I'm already like I just have so much more to figure out. Um, so, but I haven't started like playing yet. But I'm not going to do that in the live because then that will be definitely a distractor. But I had an amazing like full day. It was so quiet and less than 24 hours, but it was like so peaceful. Oh my gosh. Um, Today, what this title's about is today is still all my conversations usually is psychic or centered. Um, we okay, so it's still a little bit it's still like a day early because Thursday I received like definitive like you like any sort of like how we say I want like we in our wandering in our pondering for answers or something internally we needed to feel connected to a very it's like a reality, not a reality check, but what we have kind of always known or sort of presumed that was true, and but we just needed that sign. We finally are getting the sign, but it's going to happen in a very rational way. It's so practical. It's kind of like very like concrete evidence. You'll have your concrete evidence. I still believe that okay, today is the last day of a bit of where things become reality, excuse me, becomes more clear, and then we're left with that feeling like okay, when the lights start turning out, then we have our answer, basically. So, so to speak, when the lights are just, the lights are turning off, and everyone is like, heading home. We're assuming that they're going home to a family. Then we start realizing, okay, this is really happening. Like the realization. The thing is, we have to remember what we're realizing as well, because that is our answer. Because while we've been going through this for the past week, or at least a half a week, or since last week, which would be half a week today, um, we would have had a resolution. And that resolution would have come in the form of I know how to resolve uh, or how to and reach my resolute. I know how to settle this like once and for all for a long period of time. But then, we are, being mortal and everything, we give life the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't want to leap out there um, on my maybe misguided opinions. Maybe it isn't what I think it is. Or some people, they have to kind of like life has to kind of push them because we are. That's the problem with being content. Like content is the healthy one versus too happy. That's anxiety, or too grounded. That can be depressed. Can consider depression. So we say be in the middle, kind of like a gray area. Be in the middle, but then being too content can sometimes can be unmotivational. So because you're too content, you're too comfortable, and then it's the routine of life keeps you from accepting and shaping a new routine, and that can mean anything. What is that supposed to mean? That could mean starting one's. Okay, so this year has been about autonomy, right? From last year, people's jobs shaped, or people were seeking some form of autonomy. But here's the thing, it isn't just employees, it's the employers. So even let's say somebody who is like, even like someone in office of power will seek to have some form of autonomy, even if it means autonomy means also the ability to not need to rely on the partnerships of that time, even. So it may be seeking new partnerships that allow greater range of motion, of movement, of rights, even privileges. So that's another thing you have to kind of consider, because there are people who like, what are you talking about? Autonomy. This is real life, because they're in a very structured corporate style work. Like, but I'm telling you, even the people in the medical field, like autonomy may be, they now run the entire third floor, the ward or something, yeah. So autonomy or some form of it is personal. And yes, it applies to even people who say, it's very strict and, well, very, secular. There's there's especially autonomy there. But also, what I've learned about uh, businesses, lots of businesses have like perfect grade A people, people that are like top notch and who are, as I mentioned, let go. But why? Okay, so we're in the age of Aquarius, and so we have top-notch businesses. Yes, they have the best of the best because they are the best of the best. So if you're at the top, right, you're gonna choose the best. You're right. You're not gonna choose the fourth best, are you? No, you're not. You're gonna choose the best. So they have the best, or what they would deem as the best, having the best, and there it's this autonomy, and businesses are actually doing something wild. They're saying, why are you here? You're smart, you're brilliant, you have all of your resources, and you have a lot of experience here. Why don't you go out there and set something up on your own? And now some employers might just come right out and say, "You're so talented. So when are you leaving? When you leaving us?" Some might say that, like, "Hey, don't let this be your last stop." Like, "I just love you. You're my family. I want to stay here forever." And they say, "We're looking for," and then of course in the interview they say, "Well, we're looking for long-term partnerships. We're like a family. We want to welcome you aboard. Yep, you're one of us now. So you'll have to wear this pin, right?" But then, reality is like, I admire your work so much. I mean, we're fine. We want to expand, and we want to shake it up a bit. We don't see you as competition, but you need to compete though. You should need to go out there and get established, set up something independently yours. It doesn't mean you have to stop what you're doing. It means do more of what you're doing, what you're called to do. I mean, find what you actually. People say, sometimes you feel like everybody else comes to do the same work, but they look at you different. They're like, it's almost like, why are you here? You know, and they try to kind of set it up where you're not, say, they're satisfied or you're complaining. Well, we'll go. This is today's subject. We've got all day. A pleasure. Okay. Okie dokie. A pleasure. Welcome. Yeah. Yes. I'm requested now. Yes, they sent me the memo. They're like, "Hey, we need you guys on." So I'm here earlier. It's early, but I'm here as requested. Yes. Uh-huh. Sure. Right. It's gonna be okay. That something is for you. What's meant for you is going to arrive for you, but nothing is stirred. Right now, to my understanding, yeah, this was a fickle, funny time. I mean, very quiet, this week, and I knew it was because everybody's kind of like waiting for this big splash, and I know Wednesday is today is that final day of it. So we're still going through this sort of connection with this new receiving this energy, receiving this new life experience we are definitely going to have. But our Thursday is like that one. That one was difficult to explain last week. So why you keep mentioning Thursday, going back and forth from Wednesday, Thursday, because Thursday is when kind of like when I'm explaining this as we speak on paper. It's where everything is. We have our final answers, the answers that we've looked for, the answers that we need. Like everything is like right there. It's like, oh boy, I know what this is now. I know what I've got to do, what I should be doing. And that's what we're so it's like we're closing out this day. But I get the sense that something is underway, something is coming, meaning this can also I think it's too generic this time to say, oh, it's end of a chapter. It's like we're in the middle of a chapter. We're still in the scenario of like in your instance, receiving. You said receiving the call. Do I land these positions, these opportunities before me? I set it out there to the universe. I told them what I wanted, what I'm looking for. So it's like it's some of that elements is what I'm able to see. So I get the sense that that's where things are still. It's still in that sense of motion. Like earlier, they mentioned that these members of like family members, family specifically, I know to buy, but they would be in communication with these families in the kind of like in the practical sense. I guess trying to listen to the family, see what they want, what they're going to get. The family, like listening to what's being offered here, is what I could see. It's like kind of like when the company says, well, here are your options. These are things that we have for you today. So what do you think of this? Exactly are your needs? So it feels very much like which we were out of that conversation. We definitely know that we wanted to be part of that conversation for sure, but it just quite didn't come together like the way that we would have hoped. Like different correspondences. Like letting like, okay, so we're letting them know we're talking to them right now. I promise they're, we at least can get you the interviews. It's like right now it's like we're in the kind of like you said, in the dark. In fact, Thursday, it reminds me of we're in the dark and we know why. In a dark in a good way. We're left with a promising answer, though. That's what I've been picking up on for the past week. So this whole process has been, as you know, 1 week and a half without counting the weekend. We people can work on their own on this past weekend. I mean, then now these top 3 days represent the rest of the time frame of 10. It was like a total of 10 days, but considering all the time that we started from, there been like on a Monday, I think last Monday. It's like, so we're finally going to be getting some resolve. Like we're getting, I guess, back in touch, or someone is back in touch with us type of resolve. Things are taking place and shifting. So you're shifting for sure. It's just a matter of all of this whole time frame has been a little wild, like a wild card. Considering, yes, we see things sometimes psychically, but then trying to share what we see, that's a bit tricky. And you're in your own kind of like individually, as you say, not excluded, but like to yourself, and you're connected to the future. you want to do something, you're in some sort of conversation with these companies. By the way, I'm also looking at my symbols here, and they definitely reveal that their company is still, in your, well, you're in their sights, but you're still very much in their sights. So they do say that. Well, there's more here. Before we go into there, may we look at what they're saying for a second? They're saying that your timing, like in what you do, specifically in the area of being there, taking, being a part of the family, looking after the family, and things like that. But this is relevant to, first of all, they said it is happening, it is representing specific. What I want you to know, you have to think in terms of this year, 2025, but like, well, when? This vibration is saying by over this next, my goodness, this next, like over the next, okay, so the next day, you should be entering this new phase, and where they're in communication with you, because it's like they want to have you placed by September. So over the next, like, they want you actually placed and added on now in that time frame, because they already know you're looking for, to work. They just got to get you matched with the right family, and that's what they're doing at the moment. So, but right now they've just been speaking with the family. The other part is this, that they said, while we're in August, and what are they doing for now? What are they doing like this week? Because I desperately need a job. So what they're doing right now is, for the past, it would have been a total of 3 weeks, right? So we've got 1 week and a half and another and a week and a half to go. So they've been focusing on like the type that you're looking for. You want you want to live in or something like that. They're looking for the family that's looking for an in, a live in. And so that's what they've been doing, something very specific as that. But here it describes family with children, of course, obviously. So I'm looking at that as well. And that's what they're doing, right, as you and I, as we're speaking right now, 1 week and a half. And then do I actually see you transitioning into these families? That's what we're describing now, leading into a contract. So you're moving into a contract fairly soon, and I'll stop right there. Then now we just need to know. We still maybe need to know like what family and what would the family look like, be like. I think it's one of the families in Dubai. I'm thinking that, but you never run out of options. But I'm still thinking a family, Dubai, with children, needing a live in, or desiring a live in, and for you to transition into one of these types of families. Okay. Hmm. Sure. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. As requested. Hmm. Hmm. course. Of course not. Right. 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 Good. That's healthy. Mm. Okay. Okay. No, that's perfect. You nailed it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Everybody receives messages differently because universe in conversation, which each of us like we are. If we're children, right? Universe is the parent. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Mhm. Right. Right. You're on your soul purpose now. Mm. Right. That's called empathy for the universe. You found it. The world, though, you have compassion for the world. You still have the optimism and love for the world. It's just that you have now just like you know what's what. It's perfectly in balance. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Of course, we're for the tears to come up because the natural channeling of those emotions out. You're kicking old chemistries out, and that's a good thing. Yep. Yep. Oh wow, that's intense. Hmm. You're listening to spirit. You can hear spirit. Yes. Okay. It's a gift. Oh, well, it's a relationship. That's what makes it forever exciting and like an adventure. It's growing. It grows and grows, and you learn something new or something expands in your gifting like every year. You look towards one like the new year. You're like, oh my gosh! Every year I learn. Spirit is teaching me better, like how to be more engaging, listening to spirit, and teach me new things about my skills. Hmm. Like, how are you so creative? Yeah, that kind of thing. Sure. Sensitives and empaths have it the hardest. Hmm. Of all the psychic gifts. Hmm. Right. See, you could borderline cross into Reiki, which is, see, there's people who say, I want to do Reiki. You know, it's noble. You want to take the world's pain away. The problem is you're being not properly, haven't looked into things on this subject, or properly trained yourself to do so, because people feel like they're blessed to take the pain away, but there's a better way than just taking it and owning other people's pain. Actually, you could take people's energy, what we call, the way we would say it though, is take people's energy, and then you actually heal it with your energy, and then you give their energy back to them. And when you give that energy back to them, you detach from that pain. You're not associated with their pain, because a Reiki person, let's say a person comes in and you take their pain, their stuff away. Did you know you can even take up their habits? Like, you could start desiring things that you never even thought about. You're like, ugh, I don't like whatever it is. I don't want to put anything specific out there, but you can imagine habits, as in any habit. By the way, like, there's a person, for example, who doesn't smoke, and they healed and worked with a person, and they kept that person's energy because they didn't do it, heal their energy and then give their energy back, and was able to like leave their energy out of their own and stuff. They started desiring smoking, even though they didn't smoke. That kind of thing. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Oh wow. Okay. So you were doing this all your life, taking people's pain. Mm. Well, that's how Reiki people do it. They put you on a table just like a masseuse would do, or a physical therapist would. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. There it is. Mhm. Yeah, about that. Yeah, he knew about the Reiki. People like yourself, like healers, emotional people who do that energy, taking people's energies, emotions, and having a bowl of water next to your workspace and also next to your bed is very healing. Hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mhm. Right. Hmm. Right. 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 Mhm. Right. That's what healers do as well. A lot of healers channel their energy to give them a better, warmer crossing, if you will. Yeah. Or even preparing people for surgeries, coming out of surgeries, during all of that. Even the mental ones, like a psychologist, psychiatrist, etc. The mental stuff as well, but also dealing with people who are grieving and people who are definitely crossing. That's right. Mm. Oh no, I'm valid. You're being validated right now. This is very interesting. Sure, I'm listening. I'm following. So this gentleman, you're being told that you're helping the crossover. Yes. Mhm. Okay. 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 Hmm. Right. Hmm. It's thought of as one. They are one. Hmm. Hmm. But you will know like identification as you come along. You know, the more personal you get, because you're growing fast. Hmm. And that's what spirit wants. Spirit wants you for the foremost number one priority is to have your own personal relationship with the universe. Not they that's when they say did away with the old ways, the old laws. That's what they're referring to. You don't have to have Aaron go into the tent for you on your behalf. You can speak to the God yourself, to God yourself, I mean. Yes. You don't need him to do it for you. Or her. Okay. Hmm. Right. Sure. Take the lead. Mm. Mm. Okay. Sure. Okay. Oh no, it won't. It never reaches me. I know how to do it properly. I don't use my personal energy. Yes, and neither should you be using your personal energy. God's using your personal reserves. You take in their energy, you heal their energy, but you be sure to give it back to them because it does belong to them. It's just that you're giving it back to them better than you found it. Hmm. Right. The incentive is that you'll be able to work. People say, why don't you burn out? Been there, done that. That's because if you're burnt out, that means you have been the process you've been it's been done by the practitioner, not just you, but or I, but they've been doing it incorrectly. But when you do it this way, you can do this all day long, night, day, forever. You have to literally say, okay, look, I'm done because I'm ready to go do something else, go into the garden or something, or go work out. Right. It saves you from burnout, so you don't get burned out by it, and then you want everybody to stay away from you, and you isolate. Okay, sure. Mm, mm-hmm, mm, got you. Yes, save the coins. Oh my gosh. Right. It's a lot going on right now. We need to save our coins. Mm, mm. Yes. Yes. Right. Yes. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Sure. Of course. Hmm. I believe it was. It's your intention behind the action. That's what we're looking at. The intention. Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful spiritual word. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mhm. You're right. Right. Okay. Right. I feel that too. I've been sending a positive energy. If it's meant for you, please let it be. If it's that one, we know it's that one. Please let it be that one in a healthy way. Yep. Sure. I'm listening. Hmm. Sure. Right. Mm. Okay. Right. I remember. Hmm. Right. Hmm. 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 Right. Okay. Okay. Yes. Hmm. 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 Okay. Hmm. Right. Right. It's okay. The universe has a way, has a way to getting you, to what you want. But the idea that you're open, at least, I believe, says a lot. I do get the strong sense that you're gonna have something that is more close to a live-in, but still having some sort of like independence. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if they even have something, like on the property, but it's still kind of like a live-in, but it's like something that they own, the family owns, like, okay, well, you can, have this space. I get the strong sense that there's something similar to even to that, but still considered a live-in without you having to feel like I'm out here, you out here on your own and trying to, maneuver Dubai. Mm, right. Investors. Sure. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. It is. I believe, like, it's nice that you put out there the open mindedness. It's like, look, like, it's like, I'm not being rigid with you. I mean, open minded, but this is the one that I desire. And then they're like, we're gonna get you the one you desire. Like, yes, we're gonna get you into the living one. If anything, that's we're gonna focus on the living one. That's like a strong yes. Although you're saying I'm open, I'm listening to what you have, but I want to live in one, and they're saying, yeah, we're gonna see what we can do with that one first. Prioritize. Sure. Got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. So she had got a little bit too much taste of how the universe helped manifest, and then she's kind of was being a spiritual brat. As we all have done it. We all, when we first, we start thinking, like, oh my gosh, I have favor, and then we're not flexible anymore, and then we start to realize, oh boy, there must have been a spiritual path too. Yes, yeah, to consider that people are co-creating. But the subject, where was I? We were in a very good, we was in a wonderful conversation. We were talking about, what was I talking about earlier? What was I saying? I was saying something to the effects of, let me see. I was saying that. Okay, so even my clients, right? Even like we know that this is the last day. It's been going on for 10 days, by the way. So something like that. So minus the weekend. I had to we'll be back. 1 second. A pleasure. Yep. Okay. Yes. Yes. So did you hear it was a strong yes about they prioritize to live in? Yes. They're going to prioritize you to live in, but they like how you're open. You're like, I'm listening, I'm open, but I this is what I really have my heart set on. And they understand. They have to understand because we know that Dubai is one of the top richest of cities. We know that. That's what they're known for, and they make that they're not shamelessly, right? And that's okay. That it's supposed to do that. It's for all the reasons. People want to go there, and so they understand like it is an expensive city. And they're saying, I'm hearing like not out of like intimidation of someplace different, no, you'll be safe. It's a good city, all that. And yes, it truly, but it's expensive. Like, are you hearing me? It's like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. Well, let's see if we can get a live in one because that would be helpful. That'd be easy for you. Like, what would be the point to going there, to go there to service the services you do and then not have the really the means to be there, and they're not considerate of that. So they're saying, no, we totally get that for sure. Like to you can bringing you in as a live-in or having a space designated for you on the property or somewhere something that they that they actually own themselves and then as a live-in. Hmm. 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 Right. I get the sense they're just waiting for like the entire cycle, like the entire process to fulfill, like, okay, like get the feedback, things like that, get paid, get the money to you, things like that. But the spirits, but psychically, to add that, tomorrow, like so less than 24 hours, we're gonna know definitively what like the answers we seek. But these answers are not like yes and no. They're more like, I mean, they are, but they're more like resolutions. So they give you, it's like a resolute, like I know exactly what I have to do right now. And I know without a doubt what direction I'm going. That kind of answer. Hmm. Which I believe has a lot to do, especially with the families, like what type of family you're looking for, the assurance that you're going to be given an offer soon, a contract, by the way, which I opened up the reading and saw that you're getting a contract soon. While we're in August, by the way, so that means over the next 1 week and a half. Well, by September. I know, but I'm just the part of the job is looking for time frames in the psychic realm. So it just showed earlier September. It was a piece of information that specifically it was meant for your ears only. So I just wanted to pass that along. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Okay. Okay. Yes. Oh, I love that word. Mm-hmm. And, well, well, the darkness wants us more, and it's also seductively, in a way, requesting our participation in its presence. But you have a light from the within, and you're saying, I have my own light, and you're able to. That's how you're able to deal with the. How do you deal with the enticing to something that is like, now that I've got you, kind of like be nice to the fly, harmless fly until it pinches you, with its pinchers. You're like, wait a minute, you're feeding on me. I'm actually, you only see me as breakfast. I thought we were friends. Yeah, so so you're learn from your light within, you're realizing, you've come to realization that, oh my gosh, I'm going with my light, and while the dark is trying to give me a purpose, but I already have a purpose. When you connect with the dark, it's either it's wild. Like, this is not what I wanted at all. This is counter what I wanted. Everything, how it's even happening, what's happening with me, and the dark will celebrate that. Will smile. They're like, "Why are you smiling?" But our inner light says, I didn't want any of that, not even the seductive parts, because it's not where my interests are. And then your interests giving you life, and then your interests will open doors for you and put you in places we never even imagined. Like you going to Dubai, for example. The dark part, seductive, would put you with something fancy, something beautiful and handsome, but then we'll say, see, this is the reason why there's no real reason to go to Dubai. You're like, but wait, I wanted to go to Dubai. So it strips us and takes things away from us. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Stronger and wiser. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. And by the way, it is that we know that the spirit world is, we speak of God, God of wealth, right? Of great wealth that we can't even imagine, right? And some people even say all of the universe's wealth is God's. So that you end up in the famous part. That's what I wanted to assure you. It's there. It's just a matter of getting there. The process is challenging. now that you know how to do the skillful, now you're skillful. Now you get to go back and do the skillful, but raise it from out of your spirit. Yes, that's the shit that you inherit by your participation. It is encouraged. Now, we don't, obviously, we don't have, humans, we mortals, do not have to seek after spiritual gifts, but it's encouraged. Are encouraged, you were encouraged, you did it. And yes, there's going to be a lot of wealth, spiritual wealth, and even physical wealth in your experience with it, with your skills and experiences that you've already have as well. Mm. Mm. Oh, you're in the spirit realm. Mm. Yes. Mm. Right. Mm. 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 Right. 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 No. 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 We spent time in that breaking bonds, chains, and psychic. Of course, in the psychic world, we talk of breaking cords, severing cords. So you're right on it. Spiritual battles, psychic fights, all of it. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. You're learning it yourself. Mhm. Right. I'm trying to make sense of it myself. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm amazed. You're amazed. I'm amazed. I want to know if this is real, what I'm experiencing. Okay. Hmm. Right. It's like it comes from one of the mystical heavens, one of the heavens, your costumes. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. That is your true heavenly career. That is your what we call your faith seed. This is where your faith is. Anytime you need to connect directly with your faith or hope and faith, all that stuff, you do this. Even if you like do it to the side, like I know it's more than a hobby, but it sort of reminds others as a hobby. You mean as a hobby? No, I mean like every time I do this, it's like it's your spiritual currency. It's spirit currency. Hmm. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. You see how it's starting, you see how all those words that sound bizarre, but now that you're actually in the spirit journey, now all of these phrases make sense to you. You're not of this world. Stop trying to be a part of it. Like, huh? I gotta go to work right after this. Now it makes sense, right, to you. I'm not of this world. That's right. Right. Yes. They haven't stepped into their space yet, but it's for your safety. You have to acknowledge that right now, and you know why. They'll say, "Why are you standing in there? Come out here." As you said, the dark calling you. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Right. It, right. And that's how it is described as. With the eyes you see, they're not they're realms. Some people describe it as, there are multiple realities. People are experiencing different realities, infinite realities of possibilities. Right. And you have spotted the realm in which you are in. You can tell that there's a difference. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's what it is. You described it right. Mhm. Yes, that's what the veil looks like. Uh huh. Yes. Right. There's different realms for different reasons, and when you transition into the next realm, like like there's a realm that you're completely successful. There's another realm where nothing holds up, everything fails. So like you're in you now, and you understand your realm, whatever that realm is. You're in that realm, and what realm you're operating in. Hmm. Hmm. The changes, by the way, get used to that, because I mean, like the change happens progressively throughout the year, but also every year. You're gonna say, "Guess what I learned to do? I have something new," and you're gonna be like, "What is it now?" Hmm. Even your looks will change, because inwardly you are your spirit. The spirit, of course, is gorgeous. So it's coming from your light within. You even feel more vibrant. Look it, feel it. Like, where did I get all this energy from? That's what universe was saying. You said, "Oh my gosh, why didn't this happen 10 years ago?" Oh, I get it now. I just wasn't ready. But then universe also makes up for time. Universe says your time is not wasted. Everything physical, mentally, emotionally you would have done then, you're doing it right now. What it takes to even the time that you're going to spend actually in the position and enjoying it. That's what we meant when we said that. Even that is worked out for you. Like the time that you would say, well, how long would you actually stay in that space? 20 years, 30 years? It's like, oh, well, universe has that mapped out too. Knows exactly how long before you get bored. Also, give you all the energy in the world to do it, to enjoy it. Yes. Mhm. There's sometimes we confuse those two because we're talking about there's evolution outside, but then there's involution, inward transformation. Now, transformation also associated. We're all are going through transformation. Out clearly, some of us are going more gradually, but it is transformation associated with Pluto. Or that, yeah. So you are going through a transformation. This is the age of transformation. The symbol, the metaphysical symbol, originally from the '60s was the chrysalis to the butterfly. When the caterpillar does a chrysalis thing and then comes out a butterfly, that represents transformation. But you can also say a snake, shedding its skin. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that is transcendence, transformation. Yes. Hmm. 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 Beautiful. Hmm. Hmm. True healing and restoration. You felt it. Okay. True peace. Hmm. 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 Yes. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I could still do that. Exactly. I was waiting for you to say that. That's so empowering. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And this is the beautiful example of your light within, your inner light. Hmm. Right. And the dark would be an example to all the external things, like you say, enticing, make you feel good, and give you the sense of it's lending you abilities. But yeah, but you have it also in your light within. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. You have to see your true value, how much that you're worth, and realize the path before you that seems daunting is worth it because you're worth it. It's kind of like, no, sit down, keep looking until you realize what you have around you, more or less. Hmm. This is all gonna be yours someday. Take it serious. You're inheriting this as your spirit grows. Yeah. Mhm. 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 It's not about that, right? It's that inner value, the value you put on those things inside. Mm. And that could be more valuable to you than the physical manifestation of what money can get being all around you and at your fingertips. They will never have the chance to get there, right? To learn that lesson. Because some people would stay and be unfulfilled inside. You said not I. Your spirit, your inner person would not allow you to just accept that as your new life. You're like, I can't do it. I tried it, but yeah, you just like it's coming out, like you said, in form of tears, literally. Your body rejected that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I want to. I want to hear. Sure. You passed the test. You did it. Yes, you have. I'm clapping. Yes. Yes. You passed the tests. Mhm. Yes. Beautiful. Mhm. Right. And humble doesn't mean modest. The modesty is different. You're not accepting the lesser of your abilities. You know exactly skillfully where to place your abilities, and that's humbleness. It's your purpose. It is your purpose, too. It's so true. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 A contract to sign. One we say within because that's when you said I don't care when it comes, I just want it, I want to know it's coming. That's why we said no, this is the work. It is they gave us a time frame. They gave us they said first of all, this is so important, it has to happen as you bring in the November month, so the remainder of this 1 week and a half, or what do we say, week, and I say week and a half, I'm really speaking to what's left of this month's time, which is about what a week, and here we are in the middle of the week. It's Thursday being our okay. Wednesday is our final day. Thursday is when new the new sort of it's still the same chapter, but it's like another section. Like the section's broken off into so this is like the next section of the same chapter of manifestation. Oh, and they did say 20. They were very specific. They said no. We got to be even more clear. They did mention, of course, it's 2025 subject. Okay, so September 2020 by September 2025. But yet, but while we're in August, yet while we're in August, okay. But a great way to bring in September 2025. Okay. And that's how we say yes. By the way, that's a proper yes. Yes and no. That's a yes. That is a strong yes with details. Yes. You have a new energy with your finances now that is now is dial it's in sync with your DNA, your spirit DNA, your RNA. You now you're fine. Like when will your riches find you? Everybody like cuts you a piece of a corner of their bread. But I mean, like when does you attract your vibration, like your destiny, your the riches that are only meant for you, only you can see and touch it. You're now you now have that. You'll never lose it. Hmm. 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 It is working out. You're very impressive. You have people very proud of you. You have people wanting to pay you your money. You know what they said they promised that they of course they were responsible and obligated, but they in their heart they want to. So we mustn't forget that. Right. So you have your successes involved, like you said, it's not that it's not that's not all that you have coming to you. That's just a small portion of what you already received. Right. Wait to the next part. Okay. Hmm. You're not modest, not the modest one. The modest one meaning you're cutting back. You know you could do more. Humble is you know exactly what to do at the highest level. You can be meek. You can be meek and all that. Control power, but you know exactly what to do to hit the ball out the ballpark. Okay. Right. Right. Hmm. Hmm. See, there's that humble right there. Because you've had the experience you've had, and to where the mother guitar like, yes, I want to gift you as well. I want to give you pay your money and give you a gift. I was so happy, impressed with you. Oh my gosh! And now you can say, oh, I don't want, I don't want this. I would never do that. Now that I'm somebody, that is, that would be more like modest, more like, oh well, I'm being modest. Oh, why are you so modest? But now you realize, now you said, no, I'm humble. I know what I can do. And you are. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they weren't willing to tell you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ye- Yes. And that is humble. Now you're being humble. Right? Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, that's right. You don't sound as out of place as the pastors. You know, the pastors say you're aliens. Out of everybody who's gonna say that, it's the pastor who says we're aliens. You know, we're just visiting here. We're visitors from another world. Mhm. 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 Fascinating. Okay. Beautiful. Mhm. Thank you, Spirit. No, I always known you were growing through the process, and you know through the pains of being birthed, spiritual or going through your your baptismal of life baptizing you into your real life as as your former life is waning, it's passing. You're now, here you are in your new form. Now what are you going to do with it? It's all up to you. Mhm. Mhm. Right. But you woke up into a new consciousness with with all your information intact. Yeah, we reset the software or the computer, but we also got to pick what we keep. There's some important documents in there. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Hmm. You're becoming more authentically you. That's the actual self-actualization part. You caught the illusion. The illusion was, yeah, you can keep getting all this other outside means of riches, but it wasn't doing what you needed to do inwardly. That's the trick. That's the mind trick. Okay, and you come somehow use that funny word that they use out there, the matrix. You saw through the matrix, and you're like, oh wait a minute, that's their earlier you said glitch. Wait a minute, did I just catch a glitch? And you realize, oh my gosh, I'm in an artificial space. I want the authentic. I want the real stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Time is works differently. You understand your understanding of time and dimensions a lot different now. Okay. You know that in speaking in dimensions, it's going to arrive on time. When it comes, when it happens, it's going to happen, but it'll be the perfect moment. Like, okay, I was ready for it when it arrived. Hmm. Beautiful. Hmm. This part's a small section of our system, the way that we map. Yeah, map what is coming. Like what is it? Yeah, that's right. And you are having a little bit more understanding. You were able to get some sense of it. That's a good thing. And that's the process. When we say the process, that's the process. Hmm. And you didn't have to. We had that one conversation. And you don't have to, because the whole point of working with us is to give you the powers, give you all the right cards, if you will. I like to say that. Give you all the cards, the correct ones, and then you place them on the table the way you see fit. That's why I always hold you all to your liberated selves, your higher selves, because when as you connect with your higher self, you start to see beyond all of this, and then you come up with these. Now our conversations are so much more in depth than the other conversations are in depth in the secular world. You've spoken more about your spiritual riches and discoveries today than the monetary ones. But they're the same. They're linked. By the way, they're they go together. They're married, right? Good. But that's a good trait. Yeah, that means wait until you experience. Wait, just wait, and here you are. Give it a moment. Mm, sure. Mm-hmm. Because yes, the new finances, your heavenly, your true finances, rather than just receiving the secular stuff, the gifts. You now have planted that, but you're right. It's a seed. It's a seed. Mm. Right. Well, the transformation is so you become transformed. Now you got this seed. It's start. You have the little buddings, the sprouts, and now it's big. Now it's you. Now this is going to be our real tree. Instead of like looking out and seeing, imagining a tree on on somebody else's heel, you're seeing your own tree in your own spirit, growing before your very eyes. Hmm. And it has to be cared for. By the way, you have to care for it. Hmm. Hmm. Right. That's you breaking away from that old reality. That's not too interesting after you've discovered that there's deeper, there's more. Because you're falling towards, what are you falling towards? That what we're looking at. Where are we gravitating towards in our fall? Gravity's pulling, may be, pulling us right, but somewhere to a destination. But that's the destination we want to go, to be traveling. We want to go there. Hmm. 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 Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Right. That's right. within this time of 1 week and a half, we still have a lot of life to live, lot of vitality within us. Hmm. 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 That's right. You are you. Okay. Yes. Right. 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 We're preparing for the next section within this chapter. This chapter is still ongoing, but it's another section within the chapter. Well, you've already put that vibration out there. You've already put it out there. You can now firmly just focus on that the contract is related to you living in, or that like provisions in terms of shelter, like where you're going to live, a space that is a part of the contract, that's part of the agreement that you're co-creating, through your, like accepting, you're ready to accept. She you gave her what she needed. She needed to know that she to feel prioritized. This was a few readings a while back, and it said, regardless of your intention, you can still say, I want this one specifically, the live in. But by you allowing her to feel that you are prioritizing, she will, of course, you seen it, you witnessed with your own eyes. She contacted you back immediately. So she got what she needed to co-create with you. You did 100%. And you can stand within intact, still say, but you're manifesting something very specific, like universe requests of you, which is, you are very specific and detailed what that you need to be live in. You need live in, or provisions to live provided, providing that they make it easier for you to live there and to buy, being that it is a city of luxury. We know this. Everybody knows this in that market. If you're gonna be in the market of working there. Mhm. Sure. Got you. Well, you've got a great wealth of information today. You're good. Sure. Hmm. 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 Okay. Hmm. Manifesting, you have to manifest your life path, because the loved one will be on the life path. I remember that conversation. Hmm. Oh yes, there are psychics who can draw what your person will look like. It would be fun. I mean, like out of like hopefully the person actually, well, we assume can actually has that ability, but it would be, it's, you know, it's very interesting talent to have, because these people also draw your soul, and they can also what your soul looks like to them, and they, of course, it has meaning, and then also they draw your soul mate as well, what your person looks like, especially if they are a skilled artist. That can be also fascinating in itself. And at the end of the day, you have a nice piece of art, you know, something to focus on as you draw in your person. So I kind of like the idea for educational purposes. Is it a must? No, it's not a must. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I grew up in the community of psychics, and you know, in metaphysical community, psychic fairs and all that, and I've come across a few of them, and it's a rare gift to have. Like there's a lot of rare gifts that don't, you know, people don't hear about, and this is one of those rare ones. Mhm. 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 Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. Hmm. Right. Maybe it's a curiosity bit, you know. It is, you know, it is very curious subject. I still get the sense. Well, I can sense the way that it's described to me today, because you know, like there's some slight shifts, and that's okay. Is that your person is drawn into your path? That's, I've been getting that a lot lately. It's really been the path has been the focus, because the path literally attracts, it magnetizes things. Like we talked a lot of it earlier about, it attracts your money that belongs to you, but it also attracts the love that belongs to you. Mm-hmm. 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 She's tapped into herself. She's speaking only to her about herself, specifically her gifting and what she can do for you. Yes, it's a curious idea. Yeah, I mean, but when you want to, approach it with just like maybe for entertainment or with an open mind, if you will, doesn't make it less real, but like to make it enjoyable, to enjoy the process, something that is different, perhaps, if you're interested in that. Right. It, right. Is it a must have? I would say it's not a must have. Mm, mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. That person pulling into your spirit path, the soul path that you're on when you're actually in your path of manifestation. Because we have to be careful. Sometimes like we'll choose something that is like something that is out of reach to manifest, to overlook what needs to manifest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. I think what it is, it means that you're not there yet, is what it is. I think that's what you're getting. You need to manifest the things you need to think about at the moment. You need to work on your contract. And that is the answer. Sometimes there's an answer that goes into place, and because you're looking for an answer that you have in mind, but that's none of the answer. The answer is your path at the moment is this contract. You manifest that because that is a distractor right now. That is just to distract you from manifesting what really needs to be that really needs to come into fruition, is the contract. Choosing which where you like are you it's like the wise person saying, but are you really going to go there anyway? Are you going to even be there at the carnival? I'm going to meet so and so at the carnival. Are you even going to the carnival? So like build up your manifestation power. If you're going to meet so and so at the carnival, we'll actually plan to go to the carnival. Is it going to be raining there? Is that why we're saying well, why did you skip the carnival this year? Well, what about the person you were going to meet? So it's like, let's manifest something and get something tangible first, and then we can cite everything else. Because then you would have something that you could put in your purse and say, okay, I've got it. Something tangible in my hands. Hmm. All right. Yay. A pleasure. I love you bits. Okay, big sister. Okay. Ciao. Ciao. I'm scared. No, I'm not. I mean it. I'm not acting like that isn't the bomb. Like that isn't fun. Oh, she, she's learning. I'm like, don't be trying to get distracted. We need to manifest. We need to manifest with her. She's proven she's got it. I mean, but we need to do the next thing. She's an anxious one, which is it's just good. I don't mind that. I think that's lovely. So, okay, we've tried to have some conversations here. We've tried. So, what's going on right now? So basically, we had about a few conversations. Okay, so today is the last energetic day. Tomorrow, we will inwardly know exactly what is the resolution. We have already meditated on the solution. We know, but we need a confirmation. So this is the last day of that. I think people already even received their confirmation, but it's like, that even inward, even though consciously, but inwardly, there's something there. And that, so tomorrow it's gonna be like, I'm okay, I'm 1,000% sure. I've got it. I have my answer now. I'm ready. And then go forward. Of course, so this is a very busy time. Like there's a lot of activity going on. So like the other side of people, on the other side, what are they doing? They're very active at this time, especially like business wise, socially. Yeah, this is the time of. By the way, this is also the week of action. Just because we're not active doesn't account for what we don't get to see. The fact that we're not physically on the other, like behind the screen, so to speak. So, and we're active in our own way. In our personal space, we are active. Even now, passive is also considered active. So if you're like actively meditating and working some things out, that's still activity. But again, that also feeds into the confirmation that we're getting over the next, less than 24 hours now. I'm so ready for this next chapter. Oh gosh. It's not a chapter, excuse me. It's a section. I'm ready for this next section for the next week and a half because some people are like, what happens if, so what happens if I get this contract? That's like the fear of actually, like, what if this works? Oh my gosh, if I manifest this, it's like start trying to manifest. You think I should start a computer class? Oh, you think I should pick up crochet? Or do you think I should start, just enter a yoga classes for fun? I mean, just to see what it's like. Distractors, because what happens? This manifest. Yeah, this manifest. You get to work. You start preoccupying your time with other things, and so some people are like, ah, you know, or like, I think I'll get married, but you are out of the social sphere. And then it comes, well, you shouldn't have to go to the social spheres to meet the right one. It's like you're avoiding meeting the right one. Let's manifest a few things. Like in our original conversation, you said, I do need, you know, to try some new social, places. I don't want to go to back to the old ones. Okay, let's start there and see. Let's predict that first. Manifest that, and then other things we can manifest as we see them. They'll manifest. So I'm getting people. What I love about the journey that I'm on, um, it's I'm not eclectic, but it involves everybody globally. So that means other races, other religions, other philosophies, identities, walks of life, education, all of that, professionalism, all of that. So, anyway, my point is this. So, everybody is experiencing this, regardless of our perception of the world. Everybody is experiencing this. Everybody wants to leave the world a better place. There are people that want to break, who are outside of the Christian community, who speak of breaking generational curses all the time. they said, I want to undo what, things associated to my ancestors. I want to do something that, throughout my childhood, I want to lift that out of my aura or my spirit, my soul, off my body, my psychic, spiritual body, physical body. So yeah, and not necessarily are they like, or they're not Christian, by the way. It happens, or they don't. I mean, they are. Doesn't make them not. They're not good people. I'm just saying their religion is other than Christianity. Also, Christian people are saying the same thing. By the way, they're like, yeah, I want to break generational curses, and okay. So I think we're universally in agreement that we definitely want to get whatever is lingering over our heads. We want to like get rid of it so we can do more like stronger spirit work. The whole conversation today was about spirit work, soul work. That's the same spiritual conversation that could be had in any temple, or church, and church is more appropriate, and church. There's so many types of activities happen in these settings, but for the sake of topic, it's spirit, universally speaking. So just because you don't understand someone doesn't mean that they cannot be helped. And in order to help them doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend twice as much as time convincing, persuading, and changing who they are at an identity level. Because these people could really be fine people, fabulous people as human beings, and actually want to set out to help others, um, without them first having to get I'm personalizing it, my permission to be a good person or to be useful to others, more useful to themselves in the practical speech. So uh, we're definitely um, having, stronger conversations like, drawing in the perfect match, for romantic purposes. What people, like people get in conversations, and I just, my clients, I mean, and their conversation goes round and round and round and certain circles. They speak in circles, like they're in a cycle, and they're like, how do they break out of the cycle? And so what I do is like, especially when people are starting to realize like what's going on with them, they have to, speak and they get it all out. They're like in circles and circles and circles. What I do is with my clients, I help guide them out of the like waking up in a loop, like they keep looping. They feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. I hear that all the time. I feel like I'm in Groundhog's Day, and and getting people, encouraging people to come out of that, that way, and add is the thing is, it's the lack. It's not too much dimension. It's the lack of dimensions. So they are dealing with the lack of dimensions. So we begin to incorporate other dimensions into their uh, limited perception in the current one, dimensions. Um, so they get to keep, uh, respectively, their identity, their perceptions within the dimension, but also they're adding dimension. But they also are understanding that their issue isn't with finding love. It's not with, so a very specific, a very specific person. That's where they have to, first of all, when you say inner work, you have to work with the person where the healing is associated with. So there's disassociation is what the problem is. Why people cannot find their way out of the loop then or get this self-help stuff. We heard it all before. We did that. The disassociation part you haven't dealt with. You've got to deal with specifically, but you have to be in a very safe space. When people contact me, they are not only reassured that they're in a safe space, but they're in the safety of their home. So they feel safe to say, well, specifically this person. And so therefore, when I see them guiding elsewhere, look, I guided right back to what we say, bringing the conversation back to center. And it's not to belittle them or of course without causing them to feel like they don't have a, because they've raised a family, they actually own their house, they own their cars, you know what I mean, they had a department. So this is a part where these like, how could I not know that? How could I not? Basing it off of maturity of age, even maturity as in growth, doesn't mean that you have this section. Um, and it doesn't mean that something is wrong. 'Cause a lot of times I'm telling people how much that they are not in the wrong, actually. Yeah, people say, I know I played my hand in it too. I contributed to this and that. And that's fine to say, but they're not, but some people like they take the charge of or the responsibility of um, that this person doesn't want me, the rejection side, and therefore something like I'm faulty. Even if they had an ego, they say, I like it's not my fault. I'm not faulty. They still holding on to the rejection side. It's just that no one wants me. So I go in there and we start dealing with the disassociation and also the healing with the very specific individual, woman or man, and then we we find our way out. We go through the disc world, or the maze. We go through the maze of Hades. We find our way out, of the mind, and we get out of the loops. So that's the uh, sort of like a rough sketch. Of course, because it's psychic, I pick up things. Yeah, it's gonna be myself, a stranger we've never met formally, and etc. Reading, saying these things to you, and without you having shared any information. So I give very specific details of exactly what happened in that unique, apart from all the people I could talk to. There's that element, and yeah, but because I've done this so much and I'm professional, I always calm people down. I let them realize that it's safe. This is, no one hears this other than God and themselves, and that when they leave from here, they will be completely in charge. They're gonna have one added feature. You're gonna have all of the cards in your hand, and you will decide how to place them on the table. You completely are in control. In other words, in fact, you're helping guide the reading. You're even guiding the reading that we're sharing today. So I always am very careful with people, and with a lot of love, a lot of warmth, and yes, and also, I mean, the goal isn't, of course, to make a connection with me. Oh, I hate that phrasing. Connect and connection. And I don't want to connect with you any more than you want to connect with me. You already have someone you want to connect with. You want to connect with this woman. You want to connect with this man. I want to connect with the spirits, the angels. I'm like, well, actually, I'm connected with my spirit guides. They're my partners, my true partners, and my team. So you're like, well, I was trying to connect with, with so and so, you know. So so I'm, what I'm saying. So I'm like, just come here, what you came for, what I see, And but again, warmly, with care, with love. But I'm just saying, realistically, yeah. Hmm. And my goal is to make people a magnet. If they attract everything that they want, and what people want is unique to them. Not everybody wants to drive a Tesla, right? That's not quite what makes them happy. I mean, the idea, because they marketing very well, Tesla. But I mean, like people are like, I, like someone's less can be your wealth because it gets you exactly what you need to create something personal that's personally yours, that creates personalized wealth for you to do the things that you specifically want to be doing. And so that means I have to get people in the autonomy mindset. So I sometimes it's about preparing people's mind for that. So and that means yes, you don't need me at at that level anymore. Like there's higher levels, of course, even spiritual ones, such as my client has racked up all of the manifestations that would, like, I thought I would find happiness in being given great positioning in the world, better than I had when we began talking. But then starts to ask about spiritual things, other career directions on top of that, including when I'm gonna meet my one. So that's how readings go. The person becomes more like my client, having spiritual experiences, psychic experiences. Yes, their intuition. My clients' intuition and their foresight, their insight, their wisdom, their knowledge, all that is also expanded. So then he would say, well, I can speak to you less. I think of it more like there's more questions to ask because they're different questions than the one that you've asked recently or in the past. So people are always growing. They're always growing. And that's what I want them to do is grow beyond or transcend the reading. They say, gosh, you helped me. I won't need to contact you as much now that you've given me my answers. Then other things happen that they're like, yeah, I already won the award. Like you said, I already, met the guy, we're building structures, building a house for him on the lake. It's like, so that's the way that I work. That's my work. Also, um, people are actually growing in their desire to have more. I'm having wonderful conversations with the ladies of Europe, on the continent of Europe, but from different countries. Um, Now being prepared, they're ready to tackle the tough conversations concerning women and money. Specifically, nothing wrong with women and money, but specifically the way that money is reaching women. And also, then what kind of money is it? Or opportunities, money making opportunities um, to reach women differently. Um, Not in the sense where uh, like the difference in the work, but I mean the fact that this because there's such a difference in the work between men and women, the opportunities for women typically is is less opportune to that of the male counterpart. And so, anyway, that's being addressed. I'm learning it myself, by the way, as we go. I'm even curious, well, how will the women, you know, intellectually maneuver this one? Because that means one of the big things, as we say, what is special about a woman is her connection to everything. So she's having to also look at this as no longer being that stereotype of, the inner connection to things. So, but also maybe even maintaining um, a sense of connection and redefining, well, what does that connection actually mean? And what does it actually entail for she to stay or be identified as connected? Because, does it mean that she has to drop her emotions or not feel in order to perform this intellectual activity? And we know, obviously, that's a no. That's a rhetoric question. Um, of course, when I speak with her, it's me telling her that she like all the areas that needed to reach her emotionally is already happened. Meaning she already has her loves. She already has the loves of her life in her life. So this should be interesting. It's going to be a fascinating uh, journey to witness. I get to witness it. I am a witness. Sometimes I am just a witness. And I'm proud to witness the growth of humanity for both uh, the man and the woman in this new age of Aquarius. Not let's not forget. Oh, with that said, not only is it age of Aquarius, but this the planet of all this is associated with the banking systems of the world. So this is a very spiritual time in the world of finances, money. Beautiful. Beautifully said. But anyway, we're gonna continue to grow and become even more advanced. Yeah, keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're going to enjoy the entire process. The process is going to be amazing. As you all know, the watch hours are increasing. So my time spent here is not in vain. My channel, uh, as it's meant to grow in the becoming a spiritual space of metaphysics. What I mean by metaphysical sciences, and what I mean by that is where the degrees are applied. The degrees, the you know, the reverend stuff, the educational stuff, the psychology therapy stuff, all of that is moving into fruition. All the psychic stuff, being that I'm an expert professional, all of that is happening, and we're going to enjoy the journey. Um, and uh, my clients who work with me, they also are growing in themselves and becoming more and more individual, more um, experiencing their autonomy, which is beautiful. I love that. And I want them to have their independence. I don't want them to ever feel like they have to rely on me. That's a sign of their growth. That they don't have to, like, if we stop talking today, I am guaranteed assured that they're ready to face life in such an elevated space that there's nothing that they cannot do. But I know we're going to always keep talking, even if some people contact me once a month. Sometimes people contact me, they wait a year. Some people contact me like every week, like every other day, you know. But most important, what's important to me is that they also are growing and think on their own, thinking, in spiritual ways, practical, metaphysical, uplifting ways, and they're able to achieve all that there is to achieve in their lifetime and beyond, and to live life even at their age. If they're 48, if they're 68, they're living their life every moment to the fullest, that they are knowing that they can complete their journey, to complete their tasks. They were immersed in their journey, fully enjoy the journey, be excited for their all the changes that happen with themselves. It's wonderful to deal with the inward things and the external things. So not only are we dealing with the abundance of the physical world, making money, secular world, education, becoming more educated, and more connected with people, but also inwardly, inside themselves and evolutionary, they're able to have the inner wealth of happiness, tapping into the joy someday some clients will have when they have becoming even self-fulfilled, looking for self-fulfillment. Do they feel full anyways inside? Partial full or no full at all? Nothing is there at all. Like, is it just like a gate, like a, what they call it, just a hole? Let's find out why. Maybe we have to become more submerged into that realm of mystery. Maybe there's some worries, concerns about going any further than that, in that abyss that also is dark. But with a little light, we can find our way and just allow just the pull, the gravity to guide us towards into our destination, towards a destination, into our destination. However, however it goes, we fall away from these things. We fall away from people. We fall away from places. But we also arrive in new places, beside new people, and also in the middle of new things. And these are called events. These are the events. Lead an eventful life, even. That's what I like to do. I love helping people and getting people to where they are going, where they feel they have all of the abilities in the world, and their life is not sabotaged. Their life is not sabotaged, and they're comfortable in their journey. They also are smart. I always reassure them of just how much knowledge or how much more wisdom that they have obtained. I always help them with that. Um, I also reassure my clients that they have not lost, or every work that they have done going forward or coming forward, that that's no longer a thing. It's obsolete, and that's not true. That makes up who they are. Now, it's not what the world tells them that they are, but their experience make up who they are. Um, but then they start to realize that they also are shaping who they're becoming. So I like to focus on that because, it's akin to predicting the future, which I love to do. That's what I do. I predict the future and also predict time. So this will bring about the means and the ability for people to align well and align better, be better, do better. When they do, they come to know that they're in a good space and they're in a safe space in which these things happen. So that's what I reassure people. I always reassure them that. So that's the type of work that I am doing, that I intend to do. I want to continue on doing exactly that. Oh, and in terms of watch hours, I've reached a portion of my goal, though my goal in terms of watch hours is 500 watch hours, but the goal is reached. Like I have surpassed and beyond the 200 mark. I'm out of the 200s. I'm in the 300s now. Yes, so I have 300 plus watch hours. That's where we are currently. Um, and these watch hours, they mean something. They account for activity, like right now, like duration of watch time. I'm really big on retention. So the retention for my lives actually have grown tremendously. So I'm very grateful for that as well. That people are spending not only where they're visiting, of course, they're interacting, of course. I notice when I take a break, though, it's like everything takes a break. But this is my first day back, and I'm telling you, it's only been like I think it's been less than 24 hours, so I don't know what the big deal is. I'm just joking, but yeah, I was like, you all are like actually hanging out, and the retention is like high, and I'm like amazed by that. I'm like, wow, you know, it's with this retention and also the visitors and so forth, and the subscribers that I get. This week, I believe I've received like 22 new subscribers. All of this is happening because people just want to do it. So that's beautiful. It's easier just to do things that people want to do. I'm so proud to say that it is organic. So people are making this happen, and it's like they're doing it for because they want to. Just it's I don't know if it's because it's time to do it. They're just doing it, on their own, and so besides saying I appreciate that, it's like I'm even more confident um, that I will have the chance. I'm given the opportunity to do something a little different than what I'm used to, which is so here you are doing readings, or you're working with your clients, and because that's a very specific conversation. Even though today's topic, that's a rare opportunity to speak about spiritual things so openly. So um, people, for some reason, are always amazed by what I know. And somebody made one of my clients who I deeply have a respect for, stated that reading with me, talking with me is like it's like a book, and always new, fascinating. It's so yeah, and I'm only telling them things that I speak live about. There are things that I haven't even begun to scratch the surface that I'm going to share once I reach 4,000 watch hours. So that means, yeah, there's more information than this, and I don't intend to say this type of information over and 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 over. Even though I'm not saying over and over and over because it's infinite information to share on these topics, but there's topics that I haven't even breached yet that I am going to. And it's a lot of like volumes of information that so if you're whatever you're feeling about thus far, the fact that well read in the Bhagavad Gita, well read in the Bible, well read in the psychic community, no, actually am a practitioner practicing in the metaphysical sciences, so metaphysicians, counseling, including psychology, and so there's all of that which you've heard so far, and also, of course, the psychic predictions and prophecies. So all of that that's been shared here, right? But then there's other information besides, without tapping into any of that. There's now this is incoming, but it's I'm intending to do it after 4,000 watch hours. Yeah, and yes, I okay. So I was hunting down a piece of writing. I could also write poetry. Maybe I could. I don't mind if I read one, if I could find it. If I find it, not that one. That one is specifically for me. Um, but yeah, I actually have poetry that are published, featured in books. So I've published um, before, but I have like tablets of these, and also big tablets, and more else, um, in separate rooms, by the way. So I have some in separate rooms, like a lot of writing. So books and things, that's not a problem. Ebooks, it's when do I want to release something? That's the thing. When do you want to? Um, of course, I has though Spirit said my writing journey has already begun this year, August 15th. Um, I'm still not going to actually offer anything like in publication, circulation, not until after 4,000 watch hours. So I'm not even really contemplating, even putting that into perspective, not until 3,000 watch hours. So as I progress, yes, from time to time, I'll definitely will bring it up. Like you'll hear me speak on it, subject wise. I mean, um, can I find it? Okay, yeah, but I'm not gonna read it though, because it'll get all sentimental. But yeah, I do write poetry, um, and I do this. I also write, as in writing in my subject matter. So, which is helping me to map out the channel, and you know all of that. So yeah, you do have some things underway. Of course, I will make that available, of course, to everyone. Um, but yeah, there's definitely going to be heavy conversations. Obviously, beyond 4,000, as I reach 4,000 watch hours. So big plans um, underway. For now, I'm learning more about the way that things flow, such as uh, like like coming on here. I'm just now discovering when to come on. So right now I have a schedule of get here at 7 a.m. 10 a.m. official, to be official about it. So yeah, I'm going to be entering the second phase of my work, which starts at 10 a.m. So 7 a.m. to about 10 a.m. And then 10 a.m. to today is, oh, 3, it's Wednesday, 3 p.m. Monday is the only day that I stay till 4 p.m. By the time, tell you what, by the time it's noon, you're going to see me like this. and be like, 2 more hours to go. Until I get used to it. Okay, I gotta get used. I have to get used to this. Because you gotta give me time to get used to these long form content. Because I mean, I do enjoy it, but yes, it's gonna take me a little while to like fully, embrace it. But I am very much enchanted by the idea of becoming like very busy. I I definitely want, busyness. I love being busy. Y'all help me so much, and I thank you. I thank you for visiting. I know that I'm no joke, and I'm nothing to play with. I know that, but at the same time, I do care, about you. I care about you deeply. I truly do. Just psychically and spiritually, I care about you. It's deeply and spiritually because I know I have high expectations. I know expect a lot out of you. But in my mind, I think that you'll be thanking me and life for you will be 1,000% better because I've never wanted a life like this for you, where you just scraping it along and you're trying to figure it out. You're in a place because in life because you have to be there. No, I'm creating a space where I'm creating a situation where spiritually, psychically, you are in a place because you're called to it, and nothing kept you successfully kept you away from it, and you took it and you are shaping it after your own image. I want to do that style of content so that when people, you know, have okay, I need to slow down. I'm getting ahead of myself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but pretty much, it's a good day. It's a fabulous day. So we'll continue to be useful. That's our goal. We'll continue helping you all, and and helping to develop our readings. Oh yeah. So we read the Bhagavad Gita, and that was a successful live. That live was good. Don't worry. So next time we read, I think we're on chapter 14. Of course, we never know when I'm going to read because it's not a set date as of today. There's 18 chapters that make up the Bhagavad Gita, but yeah, it took me. How long was that? It's like 3 hours to get because by the time, because they like correlate, things, and also the Holy Bible correlations as well. Um, yeah. And the thing is, there is more to say on a lot of this of the script of the lines, I guess, the verses. There were lots more to say. I literally had to say, I know I could spend a lot of time just on this verse alone, so I had to like push forward. So I enjoyed that. Um, I said that I would do a vertical live for you all before doing another studio live. So right now, I said on Wednesday I would officially know what it would take, which I did. I know where to go find and retrieve information. It is going to be a big read or a long live, and there's just no way getting around that. So when I do it, it may be at a time where I'm not like plugged into things, so I can just focus on the live because that's going to be a lot. I said I would start, oh, I would know what to do on Wednesday, which is Wednesday today. So it's more like, do I want to, am I doing the weekend? Well, I have my evenings off, so I can also do straight lives uninterrupted in the evenings. So it'd be something to that effect. Especially if I start early, if I get in here pretty early. I'm not going to promise you 6 p.m. You know what happens at 6? I start going through transformation, and it lasts for like a little over an hour, at least till 7. But for a good sound transformative, that I have to go through every evening, about 8 o'clock p.m. Um, but I could at least begin like at somewhere like 7:30, 7:45, and that would be fine. I could finish out the rest of transformation live. So I have my evenings, and I've surrendered my mornings. So I've given them my morning. So yeah, they'll have my in the morning. I'm in here with you all, and uh, and into like the afternoon, um, and then I would have plenty of time to rest, and then I could come any time after between 6 and 7, more or less. I can then come back and do an amazing live for you all. So yeah, so that seems like the live, or the next time that we are in the studio section where I can show you, screen share, show images, and that's gonna be next. I think that's a live that's next. But heads up, I might do more verticals. It's because I do vertical live maybe like tomorrow. Don't think that I'm not prepared to do the studio live. It's just that I'm trying to map out the best time to go to do it. I'm already studied, so I already know what I'm going to talk about. That's not a problem. I could do that in the vertical. The thing is that I want to do the studio because we can screen share, and again, make it into, we can follow, it's got to be a story. I have to story tell, fortune tell. You have to story tell. So that's the thing. So yeah, I'll definitely am mapping that out. Yeah. So most likely I am definitely gonna do other vertical lives. Smiley faces to you too. Smiley face, smiley face. I'm over here working and things, working and having a good time, uh, listening to my clients how much they have grown, their intuitions, their abilities are turned on, and they're excited to tell me their life experiences and their things like that. They're manifesting, um, and so I'm celebrating that as well today. Um, yeah, I love uh, as people grow in our readings, they become more intuitive, psychic themselves. They even sound more confident. They're leaning more into their independence, their autonomy. They don't. They don't. They're not relying on me. They can go and live and thrive. So they have what they needed. They have what they need. Yeah, they have what they need. Except life, they keep growing, so new experiences happen, and they come back and we talk. So that's how we, keep going. But yeah, we're definitely growing, and I'm trying my best to create a safe space here on my YouTube channel, because YouTube naturally will keep me in check, right? In checkmate as my, okay, so I'm in the public eye, so I'm in, with five famous psychics from Europe. I work with their clients because they work with clients. It's their clients, but they also do celebrity stuff, famous stuff. And then I'm with the top major company psychics here in the US. So I've got plenty of sort of like, you know what they call it, I don't know what, like leaning posts. Yeah, lots secure, like to keep me secure, keep me focused, and keep me in the right, ethically in the right way. But then added with the YouTube features in terms of engaging, with people, as well. So I intend to do everything utilizing the bells and whistles, the technology, excuse me, the technology and software that's offered through YouTube. So yeah, so I'm not offering um, like uh, to like purchases for readings. I don't offer like Cash App or PayPal, things like that, or Venmo. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna do it. Um, but there'll be other ways. Like people support just by being in here visiting. So that's I already have my clients, so I'm not here looking for clients. I already have clients. So I mean, and I'm with top companies and celebrity psychics I work under, and top top also top tier. So I'm one of the higher end pricey psychics. Yeah, per minute. So yeah, so it's not about me looking for clients here. Here I'm creating a like a space that allows me to channel all of that, but also spiritual things and help people, see things or work in the right context, in the right way. And so yeah, so that's ways. Even if a person doesn't like and subscribe and chat, the very fact, like the retention tells me everything, that people are coming here and spending, you know uh, a lot of time in here with me. So that's people are um, are good in that way. So they are supporting just by watching, as support. I view as being supportive, and I, right. Um, and then, so far as like, I don't need any gifts, but I mean, there's nothing that I need. So, all my needs, is supplied to me. Um, but I am creating memberships so that I can do um, very specific style of shows with the studio. Someday, of course. Well, beside, yeah, oh yeah, publishing books, but someday also create venues. I want to create the type of venues where if whatever, like if I'm in the area and I have clients in that area, they can just show up and they're going to be taken care of as long as they get there with, like, I want to be able to take care of them. And um and create that sort of a venue. Yeah. But I mean, there are venues, of course, where if I were to rent an auditorium, or if I were, rent, something like a showcase, and we actually are in a theater. Of course, you may have to like cover a ticket price, but I mean, but also I've already looked it up. By the way, I already know the pricing and all that. I'm like, I can swing that. Yeah, people like create venues, and have it all secured and all that, and but also, have things for people when they arrive, and but when they get there, they just walk right in, like just walk in. Oh, so we just walk in. Yup, you belong here. Yeah, you came here to see. Yeah, okay, you're here. So I want to create those types of venue spaces, which I believe I can do, and you know. And that's going to be my way of, yeah, well, I intend to definitely give back. Community to me is, means, for me, I already know, because who raised me, all the people who raised me, all the people who hands in it, I know that it's going to be multicultural, multiracial. So yeah, it's not going to be just for like, like all one community. It's not gonna be like LBGT community and you know. It's not gonna be like um, Black American and or African American and or whites only and it's gonna be like all people, who want to come. And you'll be able to tell in my mannerisms that, like, if I know them, I'm like the way that we interact, you can tell, wow, like he really knows that person. It's like, yeah, I know this person. We've been talking for a long time. So, you know, or no less than the person who's meeting me for the first time. But yeah, that's gonna be what mine is like. So I am going for uh, more of a, feel like all peoples with an S are welcomed, are welcome. So that is my goal, my personal goal, and of course I want to do it on my own because I want to be in charge of it because I want to make sure that it's done correctly, um, and structural wise, I'll be able to do the structures. Um, okay, I've been pretty positive so far, right? So if I may just say something. Okay, so what happens when you start to get noted and then people are like, what if they invite you? Like it's their event, but they invite you. Are you gonna do those? And I'm probably I would think long and hard about it to keep it positive. But so far, I want to be in a position where that's not necessary. Like if somebody, like a talent coordinator, um, or just or somebody's asking, I don't I have my own stage that I don't have to align with them or do the show or do it like think of it as like a gig or something. I don't want to become giggy. So I want the ability like to not have to have and I definitely don't want to adopt accept any horror stories, like self-fulfilling prophecy. So I went to this uh, event, and now because of my experience, I don't know if I ever want to do an event again. So I don't really want that. Um, I seriously want to establish my own abilities to prepare and plan events out and under what circumstance and whether or not if it's a free event for everyone or is it like for the few, is it for a few people? I want to determine that. So if I want to do a free event and is enjoying themselves, you know um, I only imagine some people show up, I would have did it this way. Like I'm looking around and like, oh, this person, they're surely are enjoying themselves a little too much, and I'm like, well, this is my event and this is what it's supposed to be like. And it's a nice turnout and it's fun and like, so, you know, where's the money coming from? I'd want to be in charge of it. But then what are you going to do for the financial end of it? That's the thing. Um, okay, my goal is, I was thinking about this, for a while now. My goal is to actually work and do readings. My goal is not to make so much money where I don't need to do readings. As people say, well, if you so I predicted Bitcoin, etc. I predict, where to put money and all that. Okay, I know that. So I already have won the lottery. I have the lottery. But the lottery gift, but um I don't want to be like they say, well, if you win the lottery, then you can quit. Then you don't have to do readings anymore. I'm like, that my sole purpose is doing something spiritual that enhances people's lives. So I want to do readings. I don't want to be in a circumstance where I retire from doing readings or where I don't have to do readings because I'm making so much money or people are paying me so much money at a time where I don't have to contemplate doing as many readings or taking how many readings I do seriously and as a as a like a recognition. In fact, what I want to do as many readings as I can. So therefore, I'm going to make it where I can do as many readings as I can, as often as I like. And of course, with that said, I'm in operating in my true path, purposefully with intent. All the desires or needs are going to be met. So those sort of explains what I'm doing, the goals that I have. Those are my goals and my intentions. Yeah. So you could do, let's say, backed up. People paid big pricey, time slots to read with me, but they don't get their reading, for a very long time. Versus people are getting readings as well as um, they're experiencing spiritual evolutions. They're growing, their life is enhanced, they're happy. Um, they don't have to talk to me, don't have to rely so much on the psychic world in that sense of like reaching out to me as a psychic. Um, and also they become friends, we become family. One of my clients, we refer to each other as sister and sister and brother. So we have like a sibling family relationship. Some, that we're friends, and that's okay too. Um, yeah, that I'm able to read and actually know the people who I am reading, or spiritually advising, sharing information and witnessing, being a witness to their development and growth for their personal enhancement. So that's So that's what I'm doing with in that sense. And of course, I would know like demographically where clients are. I won't have any personal information about my clients though, other than what I receive through my readings on them. So I won't know you, nor will I have any information on you because all of it's going to be through my YouTube channel. So like any type of what do they call it, gifting or tithing, offering, all that is straight through YouTube. So yeah, I'm not going to incorporate the PayPal bit. I'm going to keep it all YouTube so that if you do it, that's the medium in which it happens. But pretty much, how I guess how would you know then that where your demographic is? Well, because they will tell me. Like probably ask me like say, so when are you gonna come do something in this area? And then I'll see who's out there, and then I'll begin to map it out. Map out a venue, an event that people can just, well, if you happen to, I guess, have free time and like, come on, even bring your poem, your so and so. Bring your so and so, the one we talk about all the time about. Yes. Who knows? I might actually even officiate. This one's literally called Marriage Ministry. American too, at that, placing me in a database relevant for all 50 states. in any other states that we adopt. Yeah, but this one allows me international access. So we are definitely on, can do that. Besides spiritual work, yeah, there's spiritual work as well. Or like maybe that's part of the spiritual path. So if it's just a spiritual thing you do when you want to connect, and we're going to create those types of venues. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, it's uh, YouTube is going to be the medium for that. In fact, yeah, might as well say that my YouTube channel is my website. Like, you have websites, you have, social, whatever it is, like places where people like find you directly. I do have an email. Like, if come push to shove, I do have an email, and it's in my, I guess, in the bio part. So, not the description down. Well, is it? Yeah, maybe even down the description, so people can actually email me. But you can also, in my head, I'm thinking we don't have to exchange emails, so it's not a must. It's just if something goes up, something happens, something pops off, that's the way of reaching out to me. You don't have like, but we don't have to like exchange numbers and addresses and card numbers, and we don't have to do any of that um, because it's gonna all be through YouTube. YouTube, yeah. And then so far as like getting on here, even like whenever if I like, then how will you have a phone reading? It's called a phone reading because you're on the phone. How does that happen? Well, through link actually. So it's a link, and then on the link it doesn't require any download or anything like that. And you get to choose if you just want voice only. So then you just speak like a phone. Difference is it's free, meaning if you turn off your data, uh, hold on, no, that wouldn't work. Yeah, you got to have data to go on the internet. Yeah, you just need internet basically. That's what I'm trying to say. You just need internet. You won't need to like have my number, and I don't have to have your number. You have the link. The session at the time when we're speaking is slated to be private, or it's slated to where there's just members or group of people, and we go from there. We do the service. Again, there's like three features. There's a chat feature, so you can chat, because I already checked it out, by the way. Yeah, you could chat. You can not use video if you don't want to, but you just want audio. You could just do the audio, or you could do both or all three. It's up to you. Um, so that's the way I'm going to do it, privacy. So anything that takes away security and privacy, I've eliminated anyway, through the process of just checking off what on the list. So like what the needs are for communication. So you just need to be able to hear me or maybe see me, if anything, see me or hear me, or combination of those two, or that we need a form of communication, which chat pretty much does that. So people can chat if something, for some reason they cannot speak, and that would be fine, or that's fine as well. So that's what's in the works. That's what's in the plan. 1 second, people. 1 second. Okay, we have. Oh, by the way, I have a praise report as well. Something beautiful. So both of my numbers are in the green. Remember, I used to say one of my numbers is in the black, which means that I don't want to be in the black. They're both numbers are in the green. So I always have 5 stars. My new member retention is in the green, and my returning members are in the green. So we are excelling more or less. So yeah, we are surpassing well, we are our expectations. It took me a minute to get the retention up for the returning members. Um, because I mean, like the new members, it was like, gosh, it was like up there in the 70s and the 80s. I'm like, come on, returning people, what's up with that? I thought it was gonna be opposite. I thought like new members I would struggle with, and it would be like returning members. But now the returning members are have surpassed the new members, which I know why. Spirit said you have to write them. They want the full on, you know, light spirit person writing them all the time about spiritual things and about themselves and their lives, and they like to read it and become enchanted, and then they reach out. And by the way, we can have full on conversations, by the way, because they can message me. They can also send me recordings, almost like leaving like messages on the answering machine or voicemail. Yeah, they can leave me voicemails and uh, sort of like messages, email type style messages. Amazing technology. And yes, it is AI. And yes, it is AI. I mean, full on. Um, Now, of course, I have human characteristics. AI cannot duplicate. In fact, it's very like it repeats itself in what is more like what it thinks subjectively you will do as a human. So if you write 5 songs, and that's why if you go on YouTube and you look up music that's AI generated, the same keywords, it's like they're singing the song in 5 different ways, just differently. They're saying this is the same song, but just sung maybe differently. And it's like, this is the same poem. So that's that issue right there. Also, it lacks in the emotional department, so it can't predict the future. Then, if it can't predict merely emotion, then it cannot predict the future. So, also, it can't talk about the spiritual things that I talk about because it's not even. By the way, the internet, Google, they don't even recognize the term psychic. Like if you were like, let's say YouTube algorithm, TikTok algorithm, those are the types of things that it does not build on or learn about or learn from. It's like it's foreign and you have to teach it what a psychic is. That means you have to teach it words like, when you say manifestation, what do you mean by manifesting? So actually, if you're spiritual or psychic, and I tested it already, so I know, you like, if it's spiritual, you have to write it in practical terms. You write it in spirit language. You have to write it. It doesn't understand, or it cannot computate it, but it can computate like, uh okay, I want to manifest. I would like to, like, my dream house or my dream experience is to manifest today is going on the lake and ski boating. You actually have to say, so I'm planning a trip that I thought about as for a destination for myself and my partner, where we go out to the lake. So you have to like speak it that way. And then people maybe, can assume, maybe have like different themes that represent spirituality or psychic. So that allows you to navigate into the spaces of. So you start turning up at, um, like luxury type, where people, oh, I found you because over there looking for like, travel ideas, something like that. So you have to approach it that way. So that's a drawback when it comes to AI, because AI is using that information, right? in order to navigate. So it's what you teach it, but it's the spiritual language is it's difficult just for us for the mortals to embrace, let alone okay. So now you have AI trying to learn it. It's like not happening. So even while you're teaching it, it's like it doesn't it just doesn't add up. So you end up like it's great material. Like people love it when it actually reaches them. You actually could share it with them. They actually love it. They're like celebrating, but at the same time they're like, I don't get it. Like I was like, I don't think I follow it all the way. Is this what you mean? And that's why you get kind of put out there in the abyss somewhere. Hmm. So, but I do not. However, I don't really contribute that as to how you all began to find me. It's like I think that's something else for some. Like you all came out of nowhere. But yeah, I did experience that where like somebody people had found me by just speaking about just things in a more of a practical sense. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Okay, so we're doing good today. We had a long reading, which is nice. I love my long readings. Um, I love, like helping people becoming discovered through the universe. It's like, I know y'all are like, it's okay, buddy. You can take a break. I know. I know I could take a break at any time. But there's more work to do. We're doing even more work, guys. Yeah, we're going to continue, but I don't, how long have I been on? 2 hours. Okay, that's not bad. Well, it says 205 minutes. Oh, more than that. Oh, more than 2 hours. Okay. Well, I can get it. Well, I guess. Okay, we can get an exact, somewhat of a rough sketch. Okay. I think I did that wrong. No. Come on. There it goes. Oh, yeah, we've been on here for a while, actually. 3 hours. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely doing really well. We're doing very well today, actually. Okay, so let's see. Um, 1 second. Okay. Um, see if I do this right. Uh-uh. That can't be right. Is it? It looks like should be right. Okay, I'm gonna zero this one out, uh, and then hopefully I can come back because I need to see something. And right now I'm at the highest. All right, so I'm gonna try to come back and Also, get some more refill on tea, please. And we'll get back to some regular interaction.